what's up, everybody? Welcome back to K Culture. This is part two of episode 7, dramas. Um, in the first episode, we covered, actually not first part, we covered our top 5. We listed our favorite 5 dramas. Then we broke some of them down. So why don't we just get into it, Cass? Let's pick up where we left off, and why don't we just continue rattling some off that we want to talk about.
Okay, number 5. Well, I could just say my next favorite would be Revenge of Others, and that's on Hulu. That's 12 episodes. I've watched this one like about 5 times, and first time watching it was like about 5 months ago. So yeah. It's very different from what I usually watch, because the ones I usually watch are like romantic and like cutesy, but this one's more like of a murder mystery, revenge kind of thing. And there's like kind of like love between the two main characters, but not really. Like, and it's just like a sad, more like a melodrama, honestly, because main character has cancer and only has like a year left, and then he takes revenge on whoever wants, like he gets paid to hurt them.
Yeah. So he's like a vigilante, like assassin type.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, so yeah, and he's like a hero to a lot of people. But then her character name is Chanmi. Like she's trying to like investigate on who killed her brother, because she knows that it wasn't like suicide. Like she knew someone murdered him, so like she went to that school just to look for who it was. And who it was kind of very shocking in the end, because like I was like, no, why did he kill him? But no, there was someone possessing his body, that's why. So yeah, it's a lot, but it's so good. So good.
That sounds like something that I definitely need to watch. Like that's my speed. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like the whole romantic, cutesy, type shows, but yeah, these ones with like action and like some mystery into it, it's so good. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying that the characters are really good too. That's why it's a great cast.
Okay. I'm definitely gonna put that one on my list, because I have not watched it, but I do have Hulu, so I can watch that. Okay, so for my next drama, so this is actually, I guess we can see this is like my first drama that I watched. It's My Name. Love this show. Love this show. It has Han So-hee as Ji-woo, and Bo Hyun-an as Pledu, and I believe that's the guy dating Jisoo, right? I think.
Yeah.
Okay, so part of the reason why I dove into this is honestly because Han So-hee, my friends were like, you gotta watch this, so I gave it a try. The cast is amazing. Just top to bottom, everybody played a role that was so believable, to the main villain, who's the gangster, the gangster mob boss type guy, to Han So-hee playing Ji-woo, and then everybody in between was just so good. And again, the action scenes were intense. And I don't know if Han So-hee can do that in real life, but the way they work the camera, the way they produce the show, it was very much believable, and it looked amazing. So the synopsis of this, wait. It's 8 episodes, and it's all under an hour. So each episode is like, only the longest episode I think was like 55 minutes. So it's an easy watch. Like there's always something happening, and So the synopsis is Jiwoo is seeking revenge on the person or slash organization that killed her father. So basically, she's at home. It's her birthday. Um, her dad is gone for a long time. Like nobody knows where he is. But on her birthday, every year he calls her to wish her happy birthday. So like any birthday, he calls her to wish her happy birthday. She tells the father, like, you're dead to me. Like, I hate you. You're dead to me. Like, whatever. So him hearing that, he kind of like rushes home to, to see her. And along the way, he gets home and outside there's like these two, you know, guys waiting to collect money from him. And so he beats him up and he goes upstairs and he's like about to, open the door and there's somebody behind him and they kill him. And all the while, like Jiwoo is in the house at the door because she sees that it's her dad at the door, right? So she's looking through the peephole and she basically witnesses the murder. And so she wants to get revenge on the person who did it or the organization who did it. And she ends up she ends up being taken out, or like not being taken out, but she ends up being taken in by the dad's gang. And she and the crime boss's name is Moojin, and he takes her in and trains her to become like a killer and to be like a chameleon so nobody can know who she is and stuff. Basically, what happens is they fake her death to give her a new identity. And so now she's legitly a ghost, right? Nobody, so she's a ghost. And um, in the end, she gets revenge. It's so good. Like 8 episodes was not enough for this. But I guess at the same time, too, it was just because from start to end, it was so action packed. The storyline wasn't slowed down by the fact that um, there was like filler episodes or filler scenes. A lot of it just onto the next, onto the next, onto the next. And like I said, everybody in the cast was amazing, believable. So yeah, if you just like action and you kind of want to see like fight scenes in My Name Is for you. What you got? You got anything?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, my next favorite would be True Beauty, and that one was originally a webtoon, which I also read, and that one's still going on. But the K drama is also so good. It has a great cast. It has Cha Eun Woo in it, and Moon Ga Young, and what's his name, Hwang In Yo, and they like all play like it's just like a regular love triangle kind of thing. But the main part is that she's like, well, she's considered ugly because like from her old school, like. But once she like learns how to do makeup, and like when she moves to a different school, and like when she like learns how to do it really good, so when she goes, like everyone loves her and she becomes very popular, and like yeah. Um but the love triangle is just it's so good. And then like it also teaches you a great story, like people don't care on what you look like, because like the boys didn't care on what she looked like because they knew what she really looked like. So it has a great message. And yeah, you can watch it on Viki.
It's on Viki.
I don't know. Yeah, Viki.
Okay. I'm gonna need to steal someone's login for that then. Okay. No, see, that's okay. I also will watch anything as long as people tell me to watch it. I will watch it. So I have a list, right? And I'm gonna have to add it in. I'm like, my list is so long. People tell me to watch stuff, and I just try to find time to watch stuff, but it's so hard. Okay, I'm gonna add that. Okay, for me,
Mhm.
my next one is uh let's talk about soundtrack number one. Um, so again, the lead in this is Han So Hee. She plays Eun-soo, and the male lead is Park Hyung-sik, and he plays Son-woo. It's only 4 episodes, and it's found on Disney Plus. So I'll just like just real quick. The so far there's the two, I believe only two shows on Disney Plus, and those two are really good. Snowdrop and Soundtrack Number One. To me, both of them are really good. And honestly, it helps that the we know the actresses. I really like them, right? Because it's Jisoo and then Han So Hee. So, um, yeah, okay. So on to soundtrack number one. Again, it's only 4 episodes, so it's pretty quick. It goes by really quick. So essentially, to me, it's kind of like a long movie because there's not much filler because everything kind of happens so quick. But um, they're like two best friends. They've been best friends for a long time, and Yunsu is a lyrics writer and or she's like a songwriter, and Sonwoo is a photographer. And the other thing that I find with K dramas and stuff, I really like that a lot of them have non-traditional jobs in essence, right? Like a lot of that we covered, it's not just like they're cops or attorneys or whatever, right? They like security guard, they want to create their own business and anything, right? So that's the one thing, just kind of like side tangent. I kind of like that. Um, but so they're two best friends, and Sunwoo kind of always had romantic feelings for her for Yunsu. Uh, and over time throughout the show, there's like evidence of it, but Yunsu is kind of oblivious, or like she doesn't see it because she doesn't see him that way. Uh, so uh, long story short, Sunwoo has to go away for his photography job. Like he gets this great opportunity to go abroad with this world famous photographer. So he obviously wants to take it, but he also wants to tell her how he feels before she leaves. She finds out anyway before he leaves because there's like pictures and there's things he does, and she kind of pieces it together, but she doesn't feel that way. And so it's kind of like a oh, like, oh, come on, like these are perfect for each other. Um, while he's gone, she figures out, you know what, like I am in love with him. He's the one for me. I've always loved him, and there's just like some scenes that kind of attach you to the characters right away. Even though it's only 4 episodes, I was totally bought in. I was um totally like encased with both characters, and I was rooting for both of them, right? But there's this one really good flashback that basically tells the whole story of them. So uh he has to go to the army, right? In South Korea, everyone has to go to the army. So he has to go to the army, and one night, the night before he leaves, he goes to he goes to um he goes to her at her job, and she's working at like a little cafe, and it's at night. And so he tells her goodbye, that he's leaving. And so, she's okay with it, says goodbye. So he leaves. As he's walking home, it starts raining. Something about rain and these K dramas, whatever it is. he no so it's storming on him, but he's thinking of her, so he gets an umbrella and decides to run back to the shop. Um, when he runs back to the shop, he doesn't go in, but he sees from the outside that she is bawling, crying. She's in tears. Um, and so he ends up not going in. He ends up not going into the shop, and he kind of just leave. He just kind of leaves, and that flashback in itself, I mean, just kind of tells you what the relationship was like from the start. And at the end, she Yunsu talks about that particular moment. So you see it from both sides, and she explains what happened to him. And at first she thought, oh, I'm just gonna miss my friend. And years later, after he left now to go to do his photography job, and he left, and she cried again. And so he at the end she tells him how she felt both times, and she felt the same. And so like essentially she's been in love with him the whole time, but she just didn't see anything to him. And I just think it's so good. Like, just like in life, timing is everything. And their relationship probably wouldn't have been as great as it would have been at the end if they got together early. Because well, you just gotta grow up, you gotta find yourself, you gotta be able to love yourself before someone else can love you. And I feel like Yeonsu needed to go through that. And it's also a reflection of, I guess, when you watch it, when she writes music, like she opens her heart. And so finally at the end of the show, she opens her heart. And I felt like that's so poetic because, you know, it it intertwines in her life. And because she's open now, everything works out versus like being kind of like standoffish and not so much cold, but maybe not maybe not being as open as necessary. So it's so good, and I really liked it because it's only 4 episodes. I binged it in like one night, so it's super easy. What's your next one?
My next one is Duru Soso Lalaso. And that on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
It's 16 episodes. It has Lee Jae-wook and Go Ara. And well, Lee Jae-wook is from Alchemy of Souls. He's the main guy in Alchemy of Souls too. So that one is well, Dudu Soso Lanaso is so good. It's about like Go Ara. She's like does piano. Like she did piano for her dad.
Mm-hmm.
And she gets married for her dad too. But on her wedding, her dad dies, and the the person she was supposed to marry with, he runs away. So then she's all alone. She has no money. Oh, actually, she does have money, but she gets scammed, and then she gets into a car crash. Um, and then so like, but there's the guy, Lee Jae-wook. He like helps her with everything and like takes care of her and like lets her live at his place. Well, he lives at a flower shop because he's also broke and he's also an underage, like under a minor.
Mm-hmm.
So, but he lies about his age and because he ran away from his family.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, they live together and then they eventually fall in love and she creates a piano academy so she makes money.
Mm-hmm.
And then so to pay him back for everything that she did for him. Or he did for her. So yeah, it's a great cast and then it's very sad. Like there's this one episode that's just like oh, it made me cry so bad. Like that K drama is a crier.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bad one. But like yeah, she was playing piano in public, and then this old grandpa comes and asks if if he could play if she could play like a song for him, and it was the Maiden Prayer. Oh, I love that song so much. And then it's just like while she was playing, he was thinking of his wife, and it was just like, oh my god, so sad. But yeah, that the K drama is really good. Um, Great cast, great music, and great message too. Yeah.
Mhm. Actually, that's one you told me to watch too, and it's on my list. I just, again, I have no time to watch it, but I guess
Mm-hmm.
I better. Um,
Yeah.
okay, so for mine, I'm gonna take a little bit of a turn here. I'm gonna I watched 39. I think I told you. I might have told your mom too that I watched 39.
Mm-hmm.
So it's based on three women and they're best
Mm-hmm.
friends and they're age 39. Um, so it's the cast is Son Ye-jin as Midu, Ji Jeon Midu as Chan Young, and Kim Ji Hyun as Jo-hee. I think I butchered all of those names, but the main character is she's the um she's the one from, oh my god, I just went blank. Oh my god, the one Crash Landing on You. She's the main character from Crash Landing on You.
Mm-hmm.
So I really like
Mm-hmm.
her, and so I gave this a chance. And actually, it's funny. My mom told me um, to watch this one,
Oh.
and I didn't think that I was gonna like it because it again is centered around three best friends, women, and I didn't think like I'm not gonna be able to relate to this. It's not, you know. So, but I watched it. It's so good. I mean, okay. It's centered up around them. Um, there is storylines for each of them to find love, to find romance, right? But everything all ties back to them being best friends and how important their friendship is. And they're so close that their parents know of each other and them and their parents can all hang out together. That's how close they are. So they basically grew up together and everything. Um, but this one is an ugly crier. It's like crying from early on to the end, and I mean, like spoiler, a little bit of a spoiler here, but one of them, if you're gonna watch it and you didn't watch it yet, like maybe like mute me for a little while, as I talk about this. But one of the main characters, um, gets cancer. She has cancer, and is pancreatic cancer, and it's far long enough that she doesn't want to get treatment. And her best friends, the other two, Midu and Jo-hee, decide to try and make Chan Young's life as comfortable and as fulfilling as possible. So that's their basically main goal, is to keep her happy and do what she wants to do and kick off things on their bucket list together, right? While she still can. And um it's just so crazy that you have a story about just three best friends that hit home, even if you don't have a friend with an illness or you don't have, you know, but the way they treat each other, the way they grow together, the way they adore each other, um, it's what you want in life. You just want to find people like that in your life that's gonna be by your side through thick and thin, that um are gonna want to do dumb things with you at 2 o'clock in the morning. That's gonna want to just we're okay with just sitting around and eating fried chicken and drinking beer. Um, and I thought that the show cut the relationship so deep that it wasn't when their friend passed that, like I cried the most, it was before that. It was beforehand when they tried to do everything they could for her. Um, like I think, and it's just if you're ever in that situation, I hope that people in, or if I'm in that situation, I hope people in my life want to do the same thing for me. You know, it's it's such a touching story without having to even talk about the romantic part, because I mean they go through the romantic part and there's some struggles there, but to me my takeaway from that story is just find people who are friends that turn into family, that will be there for you through thick and thin, and it's okay to love, laugh, and cry. It was so good. Like ugly cry. I couldn't get through episodes. I had to like pause it to go get tissues and everything. Like that's how good it was. The story was well written, and be prepared to ugly cry if you watch it. But yeah, that's 39. What you got?
Okay. I have Extraordinary You.
Okay.
That one's on Viki.
Mm-hmm.
It's 16 episodes. It has
Mm-hmm.
Roboon, which he's a K-pop
Mm-hmm.
idol. Lee Jae-wook, the guy I was talking about in Do So So La La So,
Mm-hmm.
he's in that one too. And then her name is Kim Hae-yoon. She's in Snowdrop, like a little bit, like
Mm-hmm.
a little piece of it. But she is so good. Like, so the main story is pretty much they're in a comic book,
Mm-hmm.
but like she only finds out about it, and it's like the story is like written out for her. She has like, was it cancer? I don't know. I think it was cancer, but she has cancer, and like
Mm-hmm.
the book was written for her to die already
Mm-hmm.
at the end. But
Mm-hmm.
she tries to change her fate, and then she tries to bring like Rowan's supposed to play an outcast. Like he has no lines in the comic book,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, she changes the story and she like makes him have lines,
Mm-hmm.
and like she falls in love with him instead of the guy she's supposed to fall in love with. So yeah, it's really good. It's just like based on a school, like a high school kind of thing, but oh, that one is so good. I watched that one like 5 times maybe. And it's actually the first K drama my that got my grandma into K
Mm-hmm.
dramas and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's really great. So yeah, you should watch that.
Okay. I think that's on my list too. I think you already told me to watch that too. And again, that's on Viki, right? Because I currently do not have Viki. I will need to get it. Um, but yeah, that's also on the list. I already have that on the list. Okay, so should we just talk about, let's just dabble into like what we watched or what we're currently watching. Do you have anything that you're
Yes.
watching, or what did you just finish? Go ahead.
Well, I'm still watching Lovely Liar from yeah, that one's still going on.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm watching Destined to You. That one's a new one on Netflix.
Uh-huh.
It has
Uh-huh.
Roboon
Mm-hmm.
in it. That one's so good.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm watching I forget the names. Like a time called You or something like that. It's like a new one. It has 12 episodes already. It's
Mm-hmm.
on Netflix. It's a newer one.
I
Let me
think I,
try to
s-
look for the name.
I think I seen that one on pop up for me. Like it's on my recommended for you page, or
Oh
like
yeah, it
on
is.
the
Yeah, it
um.
is called A Time Called You.
And what's the other one? You just destined to.
Destined to You.
I think that's on Netflix too, because that one
Yeah.
popped up on my
Hmm.
thing too, and I think that one was like a recommended at like a 96% for
Yeah,
me.
that
Like on
one.
my
That
thing.
one's so good.
Okay, I'm gonna have
Uh,
to watch that. Okay, so for me, um, I watched recently. I watched Abyss. There's
mm.
some there's some Han So Hee in that show. She's like one of the characters, not the main character, but she's in there. Um, that was a little weird, but good. Then I watched then I also finished King the Land.
Mm.
That was really good too. That's like a
Mm-hmm.
cutesy, romantic comedy. Um, I thought it was gonna pick up a little bit towards the end to be a little more dramatic or serious, but it ended up just being a rom-com the whole way through, which was okay. And I also like Yuna, right? She's in that. And then I just finished both seasons of DP.
Mm.
Oh, that is so stinking good. It's so good. It's like again, it's right up my alley, right? It's action packed. The characters are very good. Um, and I need season three. Like I kind of made a mistake thinking I would be okay with just two seasons out, but they're the ending, without giving anybody spoilers, the ending of season two left it open to where there should be a season three. So I made a mistake. I watched it too soon, thinking that there was only going to be two seasons. But um, yeah, it's that. Oh, it's so good. It's so good, and it is a little bit on the gory side. Like there's blood and stuff. So sometimes I kind of cringe at the blood stuff, but um, the story is really good, and um, yeah, I won't get too much into it. It's kind of new, so um, yeah, DP. That's the last one I finished. I'm gonna have to set up something new coming up, but yeah, that concludes our. Oh, actually, you have any last comments or anything before we sign off? No. Yeah, same here. I just think we watched some really good stuff, and a lot of it there isn't. There's something for everybody. If it's not just romantic stories. If you want to find something, you can find it. And also, I didn't even talk about Squid Games in here, but we'll
Oh.
save that for later. We'll save that for later because that was technically the first one that I watched. But I don't call that the key drama. The whole world watched that. But yeah, again, thank you everybody for tuning in to part two. Part one is posted. Um, thanks, Cass, for coming on as usual. We'll be back with the next episode. But comment down below. You want us to talk about more K dramas? What's your favorite K drama? Who's your favorite actor, favorite actress? Does the OSTs come into play when you're trying to pick something? Because I know it does for me sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But again, thank you everybody for tuning in. Cash, thanks again. Thanks everybody. Have a good one.